Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Morning Shred with me, Mark Murray. You guys know the routine by now, I'm sure. It's the show every Sunday. You wake up, go to YouTube, and there's a brand new episode waiting for you. A few weeks back, I was looking at YouTube on a Sunday morning, and there's no new episodes of any channels I subscribe to, and I was thinking, there needs to be some type of guitar content that comes out every Sunday morning so people could sit down on their day off, enjoy it with a cup of coffee or energy drink or maybe a natural blended juice of some sort. I don't know what your morning routine is, but for me it's coffee, so welcome to the show. Today I got a lot of interesting things. I got a lot of questions left over from the YouTube comments and from the Instagram polls that I do when I ask people for questions. I got some late submissions last week that came in after I recorded the episode, so I'll answer some of those. Like I said, from the YouTube comments, I got some questions there. And some interesting comments that I thought I'd address. And then I got a bunch of fan-submitted guitars. So I love when you guys send me your guitars. If you want your guitar on the show, if you have a custom modded guitar, you did some mods to it, or you bought a used one that's modded up, or you got it modded up, whatever it is. If you think it's a cool guitar and you want me to share it with my audience, send me, a 30-second to maybe 2-minute long video of you showing the guitar, telling me the story of it, and telling me all the mods and what makes your guitar interesting, why you love this thing. So I think I have 4 custom guitars that got submitted today. So we'll be going into that. I was talking to somebody on Instagram earlier today, and we started getting into the subject of, people in the comments sometimes are like, enough crackle, enough splatter, enough kill switches on guitars. And I'm known for building guitars with these features now. I'm known for crazy paint jobs and kill switches and extreme mods, or whatever you want to call them. And that's what people come to me for. So when I'm building guitars for customers, obviously if they want splatter and a kill switch, I'm going to put it on there. If I'm building shop guitars, of course they're going to have kill switches. But we were talking about how Jackson and Charvel and all these companies, it's weird how they put out production line guitars. What I mean by that is they'll build 5,000 of the exact same guitar and start selling those. I guess, it's probably 75% of all people who buy an electric guitar from a metal company like Charvel, Jackson, ESP, Ibanez, most people are buying black. The other 25% or whatever is probably split evenly amongst all the colors, quilted maple tops, white, all the other colors, but most people want black guitars, it seems like, who play metal. And I could see why they would make a lot of black guitars, but there's not a lot of edgy finishes coming from these companies. And I think that's why a lot of people have been drawn to Trash to Thrash, because I'm doing bright colors, crackle, splatter paint jobs, striped paint jobs, multicolor bursts, all that kind of stuff. You'd think that there'd be more variety. It's kind of interesting when you look at the car industry versus the guitar industry. With the guitar industry, you just get what these companies offer, and usually they'll take a certain model and maybe give you 2 different choices, this bridge or that bridge, or these pickups or those pickups. But you can't get you can't mix and match options. And when you go to a car dealership, you'll see they have packages. Each car, each truck, or whatever you're looking at has different levels to it. So you can go with the base model, or you can, for example, Chevy Silverado. You can go with the base model, single cab short bed. Then you can go with all the different colors in the single cab short bed. You can go with power windows. You can go with, I'm pretty sure you can still get roll up windows. You can get a bump in system in it. You can get a basic AM FM radio with a CD player probably. You can go with there's mix and matching to the options. There's also packages. So these 4 or 5 options that you choose, those come in this package. Then you can go to the middle tier package. Then you can go to the high tier package. Then before you know it, you got the Z71, 4-door, crew cab, tinted windows, all these options on it, big block engine, supercharger, tow package, 4x4. With guitars, you don't get all these mix and match options, and you only get a couple choices of colors. I was looking at, if you go back on my channel, you'll see I did an overview of all the new Charvels, all the new Jacksons, all the new ESPs for 2021. And most models only come in just a couple colors. And it's kind of weird. You think that they would do more extreme colors. You think they'd do more interesting things than just, you know, metallic black and then white options, like most of the guitars were this year. The auto industry has also done something else. They kind of watch what people do aftermarket. Like people get bump and systems in their car. People lift and lower their car suspension. People like to have custom lighting inside them. There's like a bunch of little things, tinted windows, different, you know, off-road packages, you know, sport packages. There's a lot of things you can get that guitars, they don't really look, guitar companies, I should say, they don't really seem to look at what people are doing on the aftermarket side and implement that into their new models. You can get all kinds of cool stuff that you could tell the car companies are watching what people do with their cars aftermarket and starting to implement that into the new design. So now the new package comes with tinted windows, it's lowered, it's got a system, it's got all the badges painted to match. You think that the guitar companies would put kill switches in more guitars and do more single humbucker guitars. That's like a thing I see people asking about all the time. Just a single humbucker. Or push-pull switches for coil splitting. Custom painted, you know, little pieces on the guitar. There's a lot of things you just don't see them doing, which I feel like in the future, I'm sure they will. You know, companies like EVH, you can see they're starting to put kill switches on guitars. They are kind of following some of the trends. Do you think more companies would do that? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear, do you guys think it's cool that they put out 5,000 black M100 LTDs every single year? Or do you think they should put out, you know, a mix and match of like, you know, some splatter paint jobs on standard models, crackle paint jobs on more standard models? You know, have packages so you can get the LTD M100. Guitar Guts package with the kill switch and with like blood splatter and with gold hardware, you know, something crazy like that. You think, what do you think? I obviously made my point. I think that they should put more cool stuff, more thought into them instead of just more of the same. Let's look at some of these fan guitars. So you guys, whenever you send me your videos, I love seeing your build process. My favorite thing is when you send the video. Sometimes people send like these long descriptions, and I'm happy to show those ones too, but I don't really want to read the long thing because I feel like it's cooler to hear it in your guys' voice, and sometimes I suck at reading, so let's get into it here. We have the first submission. All right, this one was sent in by Charlie. I'm a big fan of your channel. Saw you were working on an Ibanez Proline 1660. Last year, during lockdown in the UK, I decided to have a go at building one of my own. Started off with a custom body from Pearl guitars I got from eBay. So here's the body you can see. Nice humbucker single coil, routed for a Floyd Rose. It's got plenty of holes in it, so 3 knobs and a pickup selector switch. Ooh, nice. So he's got it primed up here, it looks like. He said, next, I filled some of the pre-drilled holes with hardwood dowels and primed the guitar body. Next, I got to work on the neck. So, okay, so now he's got it. I was going to say, it looked like it was a little extreme. It had a lot of, for me, I don't use tone knobs that often. I like to fill tone knobs. If possible, I like to have just one volume and a kill switch, of course, and then a selector switch. So that looks like that's what he's doing here. All the way down there on the bottom, on the left, looks like it's probably going to be for a kill switch. Middle looks like that's going to be for a selector switch, and I'm guessing the front control is going to be for his volume. Next, I got to work on the next, which was off an Ibanez Rg R420ex. Sanded the back of it with 320 grit sandpaper, then rubbed 4 coats of True Oil into it, allowing 24 hours or so of drying time between coats, and buffing with 4/0 steel wool each time. I'm pretty sure that's how you say 4/0, right? 4 zeros in a row. Then added a further 2 coats of gun stock wax for a silky smooth finish. Dang, he went all out. Did a standard fret dress and polish after ebonizing the fretboard with Indian ink. I'm pretty sure Indian ink is the stuff that StewMac sells. It's black ink that you brush onto your fretboard. And I'm pretty sure he sent a photo of that. Okay, wow, so he's got it taped off in this photo. So here you can see where he's putting on the Indian ink. It goes on kind of weird looking. It has to sink in, and maybe, I don't know if you do multiple coats. I bought some, and I've been testing it on a neck across the room over there, but I haven't really been paying much attention to it. I put it on like a couple frets just to just to try it. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Repainted the headstock with aged white paint and added the decal before lacquering. So it sounds like he's saying lacquer as far as clear coat. Maybe he did use a lacquer clear coat, but okay, here we go. Here's the headstock. After painting the body, it was time to mask it up and paint the stripes. Okay, so you can see he put on the headstock logo here. Looks really good. Reversed headstock. I like that. Then he taped it off. Get it ready for some stripes, which that's how it turned out here. That looks great. Excellent job. Black and white pinstriping looks good. Got the dark neck on it, and boom, there we go. I was right. Oh, actually, it was the opposite. He's got the, so that must be like a Tessie kill switch or something else, because normally a kill switch would be at the biggest hole. It's a 5/8 hole. Selector switch is usually smaller. Maybe it is a 5/8 hole for a selector switch also, but got the kill switch in the middle. Looks good. Magenta LED on that one. As soon as the body had cured, it was time to add the clear coat. After a lot of wet sanding and buffing, I assembled the beast. And this was based on an 80s guitar, and I was born in the 80s. I wanted to add something to it from my childhood, so I added a Decepticon decal for good measure. Gotta love Sunday morning cartoons growing up. Transformers. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sunday Morning Shred is like a guitar player's Sunday morning cartoons. Actually, Saturday morning cartoons, yeah. So this is the Sunday equivalent of it. Specs. Poplar body, maple neck with a rosewood fretboard, but ebonized. Goto locking tuners, R43 locking nut, Ibanez low pro trem with FU-tone noiseless springs and oversized brass block. DiMarzio X2N bridge and DiMarzio PAF Pro in the neck. Switchcraft 3-way pickup selector and a 500K coil split pot. Black Tessie kill switch, purple LED, just for you, Mark. Yeah, I thought that was a Tessie, because Tessie makes smaller kill switches. Iron Age makes these pretty big ones that you have to drill out kind of a big hole for. But they sell a nice drill bit that works really good. The Forstner drill bit that they sell is excellent. So we got the Tessie kill switch. So if you're interested in getting a kill switch, Iron Age or Tessie, I'll put the discount code down in the description below. If you put in my discount code, you'll get like 10%, 20% off, something like that. Hope you like it, or maybe it will inspire someone. Keep making fantastic content, and I wish you and your channel every success. Stay metal, Charlie. Dude, awesome guitar, Charlie. I dig it, man. Yeah, look at that thing. There's the Decepticon logo. The pickups look really cool. I've never been a DiMarzio guy myself, but it's funny. I've had a lot of people in the last couple days reaching out to me for custom guitars talking about DiMarzio. If you know my history I had a company called Pickuptronics. We used to build custom pre-wired pick guards, and also we were a dealer for some pickup companies, so we would ship pickups and pick guards. And we became a dealer for Seymour Duncan first, then EMG, and then for a long time it was just those two companies. Then, of course, DiMarzio is like the third largest company in the world for mass-producing pickups. We eventually picked up DiMarzio, but it was like right at the end, and we hardly did any stuff with DiMarzio stuff. I've never been a huge DiMarzio guy myself, but those do look awesome in this thing. All right, let's check out the next one. So the next one, we actually have a video, and I think the video is going to show it finished. This is from Breno Labs, and I think the video shows it finished, and then he also sent a bunch of photos that I'll go over, and it'll show how he built this thing. Here we go. Let me get my headphones on for this. Okay, let's rewind that. Started from the beginning.
Hey Mark, how are you doing? Man, I'm thinking recording this video pretty late because I arrived right now from my travel. And you know I'm Brazilian. You might think I don't speak English very well, but I can try, alright?
By the way, everybody always says that when they send me messages. My English isn't that good. The United States is a country of immigrants, so half the people I run into are from other places. I'm used to hearing all kinds of crazy accents. Plus, you said you're from Brazil. I'm a huge MMA fan. I've heard a million Brazilian accents, so I understand it pretty easily. Your English is really good, and you would be fine
And
here in the
here's my
States.
guitar, my child, my precious, my Ibanez Rg 217 DX. So let's talk about her. Man, I changed the pickups. This pickup is a Brazilian brand called Malagoli. It's pretty like Seymour Duncan EMG pickups. Flat roll system, a pretty sticker here of the Iron Cross. I like pretty much war stuff, you know.
Oh, cool.
And what I do with this guitar, I changed the paint. I did this blood splatter kind like paint. She was blue after this restoration, you know. I changed the tuners for because there was pretty trashy, not locking the tune very well, pretty instability, and it's basically this. Here's the back of the guitar. She's beautiful. And man, I need to thank you to inspire me to change and to face this restoration, because I don't know anything of luthier and this kind of stuff. And man, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Good night, good morning, or good afternoon. See you later.
Dude, that guitar is badass. The blood splatter looks great on it. Gotta love an Ibanez, the floating bridge. I like your war stuff. I like your Metallica in the background. You got a skateboard down there. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So let's look at some of how he did this. This guitar started in life very different than how it looks here. He said it started blue, and you can actually see, here's a picture of it when it was stock. And you'll notice it's scalloped in the video he was just showing. I don't know if it was scalloped here. It kind of does look like it was. But you can see it's dark blue. He's got a neck pickup and a middle pickup, which he filled. So cool. And next photo. Oh yeah, it was covered in stickers at one point. Yeah, there he is filling the pickup holes. So he's got them clamped in, got pieces of wood in there. He's got it all sanded down. It looks like he exaggerated the belly cut on it, or not the belly cut, the forearm cut on it. Rebuilt the corner there. Looks like the corner was a little bit damaged at some point. Very cool. Let's see. There it is, nice and primed. Looks clean, man. Good work. Here it is hanging. And there it is after he did the splatter, the black paint. Here it is on his workshop. He's got a little Slayer thing right there it's resting on. That's cool. Yeah, man, the neck looks dark. I'm kind of curious because I've never done it. I'm pretty sure when you put the ink on, it doesn't stain the inlays. I don't really know. I haven't done this yet, but I will be experimenting more. Did the headstock. So I'm pretty sure, Bruno, when you did this, it was right after I did my Wolfgang, right? You said that I inspired you to do this, and I remember you sending me the photos of this when you first did it, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, great job. So I think yeah, this was after I did the Wolfgang, the blood splatter Wolfgang I did. So, dude, you did great. It looks awesome, man. All right, well, let's get to number 3. So we got Purple Sparkle Explorer. Hey, Mark, I wanted to send in this video that I finally took of the Explorer I built. I bought the pre-cut kit from Pitbull Guitars out of Australia last summer. Okay, let's bump forward. So here he is playing. Let's watch the video of him playing it, and then we'll know what he's talking about as I read it. Master of Puppets. That's cool. Awesome guitar, dude. I've never built a kit. One day I probably will. I don't see why I wouldn't. And then you can see in the background that Les Paul. He sent in a picture of that Les Paul. It's got some sparkle to it too. Here's a close-up of the sparkle of the Explorer, I believe this is. It's really cool, man. I like that color. I had the inspiration to paint it somewhat like Tommy Thayer's Electric Blue Les Paul that came out earlier last year. I actually had it painted perfectly and wanted my dad to lay some 2K clear on it. He paints cars for a living. And when doing so, he accidentally dropped the guitar, and I killed him for that. I don't blame you. No, he did not kill his dad for that, no. And when doing so, he actually dropped the guitar, and we needed to completely repaint it again. Man, that sucks. I've had things like that happen where just you got to repaint it again. It sucks, but hey, it's part of the story of the guitar. I kind of lost motivation to finish the guitar after that and put it off as the school semester began again. I found some time the last 2 weekends and finally finished it. It's far from perfect, but I'm really impressed with the outcome as it's my first DIY build. I bought some Dragonfire Crusader pickups for it, aka Seymour Duncan Invaders, which are basically that's funny, he's saying the same thing, which are basically Seymour Duncan Invader clones, because I wanted that classic Metallica tone. It has a general Metallica vibe overall, like a mixture between a shape James would play with a finish Kirk would have. Also, this is the guitar I mentioned when talking to you about the Floyd Rose replacement bar that you kind of inspired me to finally finish. I included a demo video. Please ignore my sloppy playing. I just started picking up guitar again over quarantine last year. Hope you enjoy it and that it can make the video either this week or next. Best regards, Tom. Dude, sick guitar, Tom. Very cool. And then we got the next one here. That's this one. Okay, cool. So this is from Sonny Evans. My parts caster made from an old 80s Hondo guitar body and a Kramer style neck with 2 humbucker pickups and a custom paint job inspired by the EVH Star guitar. Wow, dude, that is a trippy guitar. I'm assuming you did the art on it, right? I see weird skull there, dice. I see the horns thrown up by a skeleton. I see Pac-Man ghost, it looks like. An eye. We got some checkers. Got like an evil eyes thing between the 2 pickups. Gnarly, dude. Look at the aging on that neck. That neck is... it's filthy. Dude, awesome, man. Got the eye bolts on it, too. Oh, that weird little... you got like the World Industries. Not really World Industries. It's like the Devil's Pitchfork. Some barbed wire. Anarchy. Okay, I see that. What else do we got back here? Some flames, kind of. Yeah. And we got, what is that? The Guy Fawkes mask? Is that what that thing's called? It's cool, dude. I'm curious, did you put clear coat over this artwork? Very cool, guys. Well, thanks for sending those in. Next up, we got some questions. So, let's pull up the questions. We'll start with the YouTube ones. So, Johnny HD, VYP Phase 90? So what he's talking about there is I held up a Phase 90 in one of my recent videos, probably last week's Sunday morning shred. I held up the VYP Praise 90. So this is a very rare pedal. A lot of people don't even catch that, so good eye on that. It's not really rare. No, it's just a regular Phase 90 that I had scraped off with an X-Acto blade. MXR. The M became a V, the X became a Y, and the R became a P. And then I scraped off some of the H right there, so it's Praise 90. Just for the hell of it. Why not? That's funny. I'm surprised someone noticed that. Rethick? Man, I hate when I mess people's names up. I'm sorry. Would you ever do an SG? Absolutely. So the way that I choose the guitars that I'm gonna rebuild, right now the way I do it is I just buy what I want, and then as it comes in, I realize I had way too many guitars, and then figure out what I would do with it, and then put it up for sale. If I build it as if I was gonna keep it, or if there's like a weird experiment I want to try, like I haven't done swirl dipping yet. So I would love to swirl dip a guitar. So that's where I usually start going. And then I'm like, okay, well, what would I want to swirl dip? Probably an Ibanez. For some reason, it's always Ibanez guitars swirl dipped. After I get past all these things that are the things I would really want, because to be honest, I'm not a huge SG guy. I'm not a Les Paul guy. I'm not a Fender American Strat guy or Tele guy. Les Pauls and SGs, not really my thing. But I do like them. And before an SG, I would definitely do an LTD Viper. But I would do an SG someday. So it's just, if somebody sent me one in, I would be more than happy to do one. It's just nobody's sent one in for me to do yet. And it's not really something that I would buy for myself. So I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to send me an SG, and then absolutely, I would love to do an SG. Epic Leaf. Have you ever considered, man, wow, look at that icon right there. That is one Epic Leaf there. Have you ever considered just getting a block of wood and making your own body shapes? Yeah, I actually have it's funny you say that. I have a block of wood that's been sitting there for a year and a half in my garage right now. My stepdaughter made me this book. It used to be right here. Is it still right here? Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Right at the end of my bookcase. She made me this book that has... She did this when she was like 4 years old or something like that. And it has all these guitar designs she came up with. At the time, she was designing a lot of dresses. She loves fashion and dresses, and she would design dresses. And then she knew I loved guitars, so she made me a book full of all these guitar designs. And there's actually one of them in here that I really was like, I really like it. And I want to make it into a guitar. So I've had it planned for over a year to use that block of wood that I already have to make the guitar that she made me in there. It actually also reminds me of a childhood toy I had. It was a stuffed animal alligator named Splashy. So I'm going to combine the idea she has in this book with Splashy painted up green and probably a green dragon burst of some sort. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the block of wood that I have. But I also I just came across my neighbor set out 6 huge pieces of wood. They're this thick and probably 4 feet long by 2 feet. So I can make 2 guitar bodies out of each one probably. I don't know what kind of wood they are. She said they're first she said they're sequoias, and then she said something else, ash or something like that, which I don't think it's either of those. I don't know. Maybe it's a sequoia, but I'm probably just going to do some test bodies with them and start coming. I do have a bunch of shapes in mind that I want to start making. But yeah, I am definitely going to start with some blocks of wood and make some custom guitars. I'm going to be buying a CNC machine any second now. And I've had the money, ready, put down on the side for weeks or for months now, but I've just been so busy building guitars and making videos and Sunday morning shred, trash to thrash, all this craziness that I just haven't had time yet to look up all the parts, because Chris from Highline Guitars, he sells a plan that you can make your own CNC machine for under $2,000. And I bought the plans for it for $30 on his website. But to go through all the parts and order everything, it's going to take hours. So I just haven't got around to that. But once I get that, I will definitely start making my own bodies out of just slabs of wood, make my own necks, fretboards, all that stuff. I've been researching a ton, so I'm ready to jump into that. Fat Philosopher, one of our favorite viewers of the show. Pardon me if this has been asked already, but do you scallop fretboards? I haven't scalloped one yet, but I would, if somebody really wanted it. I always have a ton of extra cheaper or old guitars around that I can do experiments on, and I probably have 10 extra necks out in my shop that I'll never use on a project. So those are the ones that I would go out and start practicing scalloping on. Watch some YouTube videos, find out what the best method is for it. I did do one 15 years ago or so with a Dremel, and it came out terrible. I went way too deep, and you could see the sides of the inlays from the side marker dots. I went way too low, so people are suggesting for the Ibanez Proline V, I need to do camouflage. That's another thing. I just need to do some camouflage. It's a technique that I really want to do, and a flying V is where I need to do it. Probably on a Rhodes, I'm guessing, because the Proline V, I love to give you guys little behind the scenes of Trash to Thrash on the show, because I know a lot less people watch this than watch Trash to Thrash. So I give you guys the inside scoop. I did crackle paint job on the Proline V. I sprayed it all black, then threw white crackle over it, and it looks so dope. So that one's not going to be camouflage, but in the future, I gotta do a Flying V, a Rhodes, a King V, something in camo. Jason, hope to see my Fender on the show. By the way, what's the oldest guitar you've redone? That Fender is 36 years old. Jason just sent me this week. I got his Fender Contemporary. It's a 1985 model. What is the oldest guitar I've done? The Proline V I was just talking about is another 1985 model. I feel like I've done early 80s for sure. I don't know. I've done a lot of 90s. 90s are like my most familiar era of guitars, I would say. Trying to think. I did a 1962 Senator Hofner, which is a hollow body. But I didn't really like give it the Murray treatment. I gave it a restoration, I would say. Which other old ones have I done? 90s. A lot of late 80s. Yeah, I can't remember right now. I'd have to look at a list. Okay, so Tom Brooks. I think you should start doing some BC Riches in the future. That would be an interest for me personally. And me and my band's other guitarists want to modify my Bronze Series Warlock that I bought brand new for 170 pounds back in 2007 on my first day of high school. It started to feel its age for a cheap guitar, and it needs some new life. Tuners have almost had it, bridge is starting to corrode, and the pickups do sound great, but don't give very much output. That's funny. First day of high school in 2007. I graduated high school in 2005. So that means I'm like 7 years older than you or something like that. 4, 5, 6 years older. Okay, you're not too young. I was like, how old is this guy? Yeah, I want to do some BC Riches on the show. I've had a couple people reach out and get quotes from me to rebuild their Warlocks and Flying Vs and all this stuff, but I just haven't had anybody actually pull the trigger and send it in yet. That's another one that, I've never been a BC Rich guy myself, but it's a guitar I would love to rebuild because they are pretty awesome. And the brand new ones are so sick. They look like they really stepped up their quality. Well, I shouldn't say that. Their quality has always been pretty ridiculous. Their neck-through models with the multi-piece necks and all that stuff from the 80s have been pretty amazing. It's just, I don't know why. It's always seemed like my friend's dad's guitars. I don't know why. Liam. Oh, okay. So last week I was talking about the JS series from Jackson, saying that they have a Dinky, they got a Rhodes, a King V, a Warrior. JS are like $250, $300. You can get them with floating bridges like, licensed Floyd Roses. Liam wrote, "Hey Mark, I have a JS32 Dinky. I've had it for about 5 months and it's holding up well. For $300, it's probably the best guitar out there. Of course the bridge sucks, but it stays in tune pretty well. There's a decent amount of fret buzz on the low strings. The pickups are very good, probably the last thing I'd change. I definitely recommend if you're looking for a guitar in that price range. Great episode, by the way. You make Sunday mornings so much better." Hey, thank you. Cool. Fat Philosopher. John 5 has an awesome solo album. He has about 10 awesome solo albums. John 5 is incredible. I was talking about him last week, too. Let's see. Another person with the JS32, so Manuel Schizo. That's his nickname. Schizo. Jackson JS32 are legit. Have 2 of them. One heavily modified, maybe I'll send some photos, and they play great. Dude, you should send some photos. If it's heavily modified, we'd love to see it. Also, I'm slowly reviving my first guitar inspired by Trash to Thrash with the black and orange color scheme. Hope it turns out good. Okay, cool, man. That's awesome. Someone said, "I wish they were around when I was a kid. Such a great guitar for the money. I got a used one last year at my local guitar shop for $150 and it rips." Someone asked, "How's the Floyd on it? I was planning to buy a JS32 or a HB Fusion 2 HHFR. Is that a Harley Benton? I was going to say, that must be a Harley Benton. I don't have Floyd's on them. This is these guys going back and forth. But I imagine it's better than my old King V with the low pro license Floyd, although I love the low profile style. Okay, here's a comment from That Guitar Dude last week. If you remember, I showed one of the crazy custom Flying V type guitar that he built. Modified, I should say. Hey Mark, great episode, dude. I bought the headless bridge I used on the guitar from Amazon. It's a fixed bridge and it's a little finicky, but overall works and holds tuning great. Thanks again for sharing my work and with your audience. More to come soon. So he built this crazy guitar. He modified it. He chopped the head off, made it a headless guitar, and when you do that, you need to put some type of bridge on that can tune the guitar. A Floyd Rose has fine tuners on it, but the fine tuners aren't going to let you tune a guitar string from like, you know, having slack all the way up to in tune. It's going to let you go maybe a step in each direction or so. Go from E flat up to E. But they only have so much range. Like a tuner at your headstock can start from the string having no tension at all the way up to being in tune. And if you really want to, you can keep going past that. I mean, there's so much range that you have to have something like that if you're going to do a headless guitar. You have to have something like that down at your bridge. So he got something from Amazon. I got to get the link from him because I want to try one, and also in case you guys want it, I got to put it out there. Next one. Fat Philosopher. Thrash Forever. What band has your favorite thrash tone? Metallica. Come on, who else is there? You know? And Justice for All. That's my favorite. That's more of a prog, you know, proggy tone. Kill 'Em All sounds okay. Ride the Lightning doesn't sound that good, in my opinion. Master of Puppets sounds crazy good. I was debating if I wanted to drop an F-bomb. I haven't been dropping any serious bad words on these shows, so I'll keep it clean. Hey, I am getting into fixing up guitars, and I was wondering where you get your parts from. I have 3 or 4 places. Starting out on Instagram the way I did, I became an influencer. I reached out to companies and had companies reach out to me and got sponsored by companies. So some of the parts I use for guitars are from my sponsored companies. And some of them are just from eBay, Reverb, and Amazon, Craigslist. It depends what kind of build I'm doing, but if I'm doing like a shop build where I'm just buying all the parts, building it up myself, and then putting it out for sale, I'll get parts from almost anywhere as long as they're high quality parts. When I'm building something for a customer, it's got to be something new. I'm not going to buy them used parts and put that on unless I, you know, tell them and they're looking to spend under a certain price, and I go, well, I'm not going to hit that price unless we go with, you know, if I get a used Floyd Rose from over here, a used set of pickups, then we can knock a chunk off the price. So yeah, the main places, Amazon, eBay, Reverb. I try to find people who are authorized dealers for Goto, EMG. All my pickups, I'm a artist with them, so I get all my stuff like that through them. Iron Age and Tessie, I just go direct with them because, again, I have like a relationship with the owners of the companies. So that's where most of my parts come from, is Amazon, Reverb, eBay, or direct through the companies. The End. Nice spray booth, but why cans? 1 pack, pressure loss during painting, thinner paint than with the spray gun, less control in your spray pattern. A nice 2-pack top coat is much more durable. Positive point, the crackle effect is really nice, thumbs up. I'm guessing this is not an American person. This is someone whose English is their second language, because this is just like fragmented and weird. But nice spray booth, thank you. But why cans? I use cans because I started my channel really showing people that you can do really cool work just using spray cans. But the truth is, if you want something that looks professional, the clear coat from a spray can really isn't going to get you there. You can get pretty close, but you have to use like literally 10 clear coat, coats of clear coat to get something thick enough that you can wet sand and buff out and make it, or dry sand, I should say, that you can level sand, polish, and buff out, make it really glassy and mirror-like. You really need like 10 coats. So I don't use any, other than like a 2K in an air cell can, I don't really use any type of spray cans anymore for clear coats. I just bought some new stuff again. Stuff I've used in the past, but it's, you get it in a gallon and you mix it through it with like a little hardener, put it in your spray gun, and then you use your compressor to spray it. So that's what I'm using for my clears again. A nice 2-pack top coat is much more durable. So I'm guessing 2-part is what you mean, 2-part top coat. As far as thinner paint in the spray gun, if your color coats are covering well and they look good, and you put a quality clear coat over it, I don't think you're going to have any problems as far as if the paint is too thin from a spray gun, from a can, and you get less control. That's true, you might get less control, but it's going to be fine. I mean, as long as you do your top coat with a nice, a nice heavy clear coat that you can level sand, I think that spray cans are fine. I also like that it's carrying on like the DIY vibe, and also, when you only paint a couple guitars and you're painting custom colors all the time, I should say a couple guitars a week, more than a couple guitars a month at this point. I'm doing 10 guitars a month, 5 guitars a month, somewhere in that range normally. If everybody wants custom colors, it gets pretty expensive to buy, a quart or a gallon of each custom color. So to be able to choose what you can find off the shelf at a hardware store, some type of spray paint for your color coats, that's what you got to do when you're doing custom stuff. As long as you're doing the proper prep and the proper clear coating after you put the color on, I don't think it's a problem. Where do you get the foam that you use under the bridge? I love the color match idea. So if you saw episode 13 of Trash to Thrash, I finished up the RG350, and it's orange with purple splatter, and I put purple foam under the Floyd Rose cutouts. I get that from Amazon. It's just craft foam. So you have to have a good way to cut it, because it's pretty hard to cut it and make it look really clean. That's why I bought a Cricut machine, so I can do things like that and print headstock logos, decals, all that kind of stuff. Dude, so this is from DK. Dude, turn to the camera when you use the second angle. It's weird how you just face forward like you're talking to someone else, and I feel excluded from the conversation. I know what you're talking about. When someone's looking off camera like that, it is a little weird. But the reason I do it is because other reality shows that I got inspired by, they do it. They'll have multiple cameras, and when you're doing like the backstage interview or whatever, you'll see it like turns to the other camera, and the person stays looking straight while another camera's looking at them from an angle. I get what you're saying. It is weird, but also it's normal to me. Like when you're watching reality shows, that's what people do. So I do see other people, they change angles and they look at the new angle and they talk to it, but that, to me, that seems like news anchory. Like, that's weird. Like, let's install the Floyd Rose on this thing. Now, in other news, let's also take a look at this guitar. Like, it's weird when people, I don't know. I'm probably going to go back and forth, do both styles. I thought that was funny, though, that guy pointed it out to me. Macaulay Crawford. Do you paint neck throughs? I have a Warlock that I may want to have custom painted in the future. Absolutely. I just had my shop assistant, Ryan, who's an excellent machinist and welder, build me a tree and build me a new type of jig so I can mount up these neck through guitars, because I've got like 5 neck through guitars I'm going to be painting in the next week or two. So yes, I do paint neck throughs. Can you customize lefties? Absolutely. I'm actually working on a lefty right now. I have a Frankenstrat lefty, black and white, that I've been working on for a while now. Actually, you could see it right here. It's a lefty. A lot of people have actually asked about it and asked, do you build lefties? And I say, yeah, I got a Frankenstrat. And then a bunch of people have actually inquired about buying it, and then nobody has yet. So that one's just been on the side for 3 months now because of orders. I got orders, and when things aren't ordered, they sit there for a while until I have time to work on them. Floridian Thrasher, please do something with the cheap Dean. I probably will. No, that's not a Dean. I think it's a Washburn. I just got a Washburn Flying V in. That's going to be a fun one. You'll see that in like 2 months on Trash to Thrash because there's so many guitars before then that are going to come up. AR, your how-to videos have been great so far. How about more of those? And some chameleon paint would be sick. Yeah, I want to do more real deep tutorials and how-tos. I'm just maxed out right now. I have, you know, I still have a full-time job. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning normally. I have a 4-month-old baby, so I wake up at 3:30 in the morning just to be on call in case he wakes up and needs to be fed. I'm already usually awake. Sometimes I'll sleep until 4, 5, and, you know, if he's not awake yet, if I really need to sleep. But I usually wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, start editing videos, answering emails, going out there and working on guitars, and then I have a full-time job that I do, you know, during the midday, and then after work, back to guitars. So, you know, at some point, I would like to do more how-to videos. It's just, I'm kind of maxed out. Until I can quit my full-time job, which I would someday love to do. But what I need in order for me to quit my job, I've got plenty of guitar work here. I just need more shares on the YouTube channel here. So if I can get these views up, Sunday Morning Shred usually gets 2,000 views, 1,500 views every week. Trash to Thrash gets between 5,000 in the first week, up to like 30,000 plus in the next couple weeks. If we can get Trash to Thrash up to 100,000 views, I'd be able to do. People have been asking for 2 episodes a week. I could probably do that. I could probably do tutorials all the time, maybe daily videos of some sort, you know, even if they're just short ones. But I still got a full-time job, so we'll see when that stuff can happen. I'm banking more on YouTube, picking up more and getting more ad revenue or whatever, and I need to get my Amazon affiliate link set up so you guys who are looking to restore guitars can get, you know, the guy asked about the foam. I could put a link down in the description that tells you exactly the foam to use, just an Amazon link, and then if they buy it, Amazon has this program set up that they give me like a little percentage. It doesn't cost the person buying it anymore, so it wouldn't cost you guys anymore. But Amazon would just decide to take a little bit less profit, slide that profit to me for like sending them their way. And people make pretty good money off Amazon affiliate accounts. So I need to set that up. That might help out a lot. Brooks Gaming. Do Frankie stripes on a Flying V or Explorer. That'd be interesting. I agree, man. I've wanted to do a Frankie striped Rhodes for a long time. Marcelo Flores, where can I buy the brackets to mount the pickups to the body? And please chill with the kill switches. For sure not going to chill with the kill switches. I love kill switches. I have them on most of my guitars, look right behind me. And the reason people come to me is because to build their guitars is I do crazy stuff with the paint jobs and I do kill switches and I do coil splitting. I do weird stuff. That's what people want from me. So you can buy the brackets from FU-Tone. fu-tone.com, and if you email them, tell them I sent you. I'm an endorsed artist through them, but they make those brackets. I make my own brackets for it. My assistant Ryan makes them for me, but at this point we're not really making them to sell. Maybe if you really need a set, email me mark@guitarguts.com, but they're pretty expensive from FU-Tone. They're like $100 for a set. It's kind of crazy. Can you do Evertune installations? Great show / work. That's from Snowwolf. What's up, Snowwolf? I have never done an Evertune installation, and to be honest, I don't know what's involved with it, but of course I could do it. I just need to, look at the footprint of what an Evertune bridge looks like and figure out the distance it needs to be mounted at. It's not too hard to figure out, so. Okay, well, got a couple more here, but I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. That's going to help YouTube promote the video more and recommend it to more people. It'll spread hopefully like wildfire one day. I appreciate you guys watching Trash to Thrash. This is the behind the scenes show. So for anyone who's watching here, you guys are the hardcores, and I super appreciate you guys. If you guys want a custom guitar built by me or want your guitar modded by me, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com. Of course, if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram @guitarguts. And stay tuned, because next Thursday on Trash to Thrash, we got some really interesting updates. There's going to be the next 6 episodes or so. There's going to be an arc. So keep watching. I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a good week. Rock on, my friends.